Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining us today. This is Joe with the Local Search Association. I'd like to welcome all of you to LSA's webinar series. Today's webinar is titled Holiday Shopping Insights for Marketers and will be brought to you by our guest presenter, Felicia Gardner from Bing. So with that, let's get started. Over to you, Felicia.
Thank you. Thanks, Joe. Hi, everyone. As Joe said, my name is Felicia Gardner, and I'm a Bing evangelist here at Microsoft. And I'm happy to be presenting today some holiday tips and tricks, and really just kind of get us all in the mode. I know we're about to go into calendar year Q4, but really Q3 is that time frame, and even Q2 is that time frame that you really want to be aware of what your holiday planning budgets are and what your holiday planning strategy should look like. So let's go right into it. And also during this meeting, to just take a quick moment, I want to stay in the conversation and make sure that you're a part of this conversation as well. So if you have questions or if there's something that's said that's of interest to you, or if you're tweeting, please make sure to hashtag Bing Ads, and also stay connected with us at Bing Ads. And you can also hashtag Bing or at Bing as well. But these are the two main hashtags. So as we go along, please feel free to use these. So last year, 2013, there was over $600 billion spent in holiday shopping. That was a nearly 4% growth from 2012 to 2013, and an almost 10% growth in e-commerce from 2012 to 2013 again. So we're seeing huge growth year over year when it comes to holiday shopping. Consumers are actively spending money during this season, and they're actually starting a lot of this a little early on. So I want to take a quick moment, because normally when I'm, this is going to be, since I can't see you and I can't see virtual hands raised, but I want you to really think about what the spend looked like for your accounts and for your advertisers from a year-over-year spend level, and what that change was year-over-year, and really thinking about what those growth opportunities may be for you in 2014. And so usually at this time I'm like, you know, did you see an increase year-over-year, or are you starting to see even now that some of the data is showing that queries and online activity is heating up? So shoppers begin early and end late. A lot of that majority shopping period happens in November. So about 40% of holiday shopping occurs in the November time frame, which makes sense because a lot of those key holidays are during that time frame. But shopping has also begun in September, before September. So shoppers at 12% begin some of their holiday shopping in September and October. So there's still an opportunity here to maybe tease out certain holiday campaigns and begin to see what type of keywords that you may see changes in. So when I say that, I mean pulling a search query report within your paid search campaigns, and although you may not be bidding on a particular keyword, you might begin to see some holiday modified terms within your campaign, so, or within your search query reports that you can begin to add in your campaigns. So doing those types of audits around this time frame is important, because the data is showing that consumers are actually starting to hit the buy button a little earlier, but of course in November it's going to heat up. And by August timeframe, nearly 70% of advertisers have begun planning their campaigns. So meaning a lot of advertisers, although they don't necessarily have the campaigns launched or their creative messaging or promotions out there yet, right? As smart advertisers, we always want to stay ahead of the game. So you want to really understand, what type of budget levels do I need to have allocated for this time frame? And you want to begin that in August. You don't want that to happen in Q4 when all of that activity is heating up and you need to have those campaigns live. August is when you want to do it. Now I know we're in September, so August has passed, but these are learnings for next year as well. So even if you didn't plan your campaign necessarily in August, and I'm saying like in August, you also can, you know, make sure that you have a lot of that geared up and ready to go right now in September and October as well. So I think the takeaway here is really start early, but if you haven't started early, start now. All right, half of holiday campaigns now kick off in November. So this is that activation. So We've already identified in the last two slides when shoppers and consumers begin to start their searches, when we start to see them begin actually buying their purchases for their holiday gifting or for holiday gifting. And now we have in the last slide like budgets and when you should as an advertiser align with those shopping habits. And now it's really when you're going to activate those campaigns. So November, again, is that sweet spot of time where 27% of marketers launch their holiday campaigns. But you can also stay ahead depending on what type of retailer you are, what type of product and service that you're offering. October is also, at the end of October, is also a nice time to start teasing some things out. You notice some, not all the time, but sometimes cost per clicks can be a little lower. There can also be an opportunity to get ahead of your competitors, and your competitors may be waiting to November to be in that space, and you could get a little bit ahead of them. So opportunity to really maybe, again, just kind of launch a campaign before that November time frame. But that is November 1st through November 15th, if anything, is definitely the period that you want to be sure that your creative messaging for all of your holiday campaigns have been successfully launched, and that your plan for when you're going to swap those creative messaging in and out or promotions in and out is already baked and ready to go. So half of the top shopping days occur in the same week. So again, not too surprising. We just talked about how November is a pretty busy time frame. So you've got Cyber Monday as that #1 date. Black Friday is #2. Thanksgiving is #3. So I'm just going to touch on those top 3 days right now. So again, when you're thinking about your budgets and your keyword allocation or your keywords that you're building out and the promotions that you want to have live during this time frame, definitely be sure you're also planning specifically for those 3 days. So a lot of times in holiday planning, what you do is you may have like your monthly budgets allocated within your search campaigns, and then you even have your bi-week budgets because it's a little bit more granular come holiday season. But for the top 3 holidays and those actual days, you want to have a by-day strategy even. You want to make sure that you understand what type of messaging you want to have launched on those particular days, what budget levels you want to have allocated, and even if you want to have a day parting strategy deployed. So capitalizing and optimizing for top efficiency on the top holiday dates. And as I'm going through this, you'll probably notice as well there's some additional tips at the bottom of each of these slides. So I'm giving you my tips as well, and then you can also kind of look at some of the additional tips as I'm going through them. So the calling out of daily budgets and even some CPC trends that you're going to want to make sure that you stay up in that #1 and #2 and 3 positions within your paid search campaigns. So optimizing for top efficiency again. Making a list and checking it twice. So the average shopper plans to spend $537 on holiday gifts. We all want a piece of that pie. So shoppers are spending a healthy amount, and they're doing it within these main categories when they're planning on buying gifts. So again, think about the services that you're offering and the products that you're offering, and see really where they fall in line in terms of these percentages and where shoppers are planning to spend their money this holiday season. And this survey was really conducted off of, and this analysis was conducted off of a multi-choice. So you'll notice like we have 61% for clothing and accessories, and in gift cards you've got 59%. So that was really someone who, multi-selected. I could have been, I know during the holiday season I'm purchasing many things, and so I would have self-identified that. And so clothing or accessories is still, again, top of that list. Gift cards is one that we're going to continue to see heat up. I think what happens is with gifting of gift cards, rather, you are really giving your gift recipient the option to have a choice on what they want to purchase. And that's really important from an advertiser standpoint, because I'm going to talk about how many times what happens is after December 31st, we forget about the value or the importance of redemption and what happens at opportunity in January. And although your holiday messaging may still not be live, you may not have it live in January, there's still an opportunity to take advantage of redemption. So shoppers plan to purchase gifts online. We so know that. So you have the top, which is exciting. We all know that, and that's why we want to make sure you have a fully optimized campaign to capture all that traffic. So discount stores is the #1 place where holiday items, where they plan to purchase those holiday items. So slide before was telling us what types of items. This slide is really telling us where they want to purchase them. So discount stores, department stores, and online are all the top 3. Similarities in all of those are options. So as an advertiser, you want to give your customers options, and as a shopper who my time is very valuable, I need to get to somewhere, and really like in a department store, I need to get there, I need to have options, I need to be able to purchase something for my family, for friends, whoever that may be. And so online offers that same access as a department store and a discount store may, and that same variety of products. Online, you conduct a search. You can do multiple. You can go to multiple retailers and make purchases, all from the comfort of your home, all from your mobile device, which we'll talk about more, your tablet. All of those convenience factors are important. So really, that's the takeaway here. And some of the tips that we're adding in here is you want to make shopping easy for your customers. So when you have a search campaign, a paid search campaign, you want to make sure, whether it's on across any device, you want to make sure that you have your location extensions and ad extensions, which create deep links. The ad extension is specifically in site links, create a deep link to where your retailer, or I'm sorry, to where the shopper will see your ad, and within one click be able to get to your website and make a purchase on what they're looking for, versus kind of navigating to the site, and maybe they're losing a little bit of time because that particular link hadn't been identified for them. An example, if I wanted a red t-shirt and that was a hot item that you sold, you want to create a site link around that so I can quickly click on that and get to that page on your site. Again, all back to convenience. So gift cards at the top of the wish list. 6 in 10 people will receive a gift card this holiday season. So restaurants and coffee shops are still the #1 purchased by adults in the last 12 months at 44%, and an average purchase amount of $76. And just to kind of go to the bottom of the list here, I mentioned, it's at a high percentage with the MasterCard and American Express, but you have those at 5% at a higher, actually, average purchase amount. This number is going to go up. I think we're going to see more of these MasterCard, American Express, like financial institution gift cards purchased. And think about, again, what that means to you as a retailer, an advertiser. These customers aren't held to a specific store that they need to go back and redeem these gift cards. And so you may begin to see some redemptions in January and on. So my advice is, how can you play on that within your ad copy? And you may not want to call back redeem your gift card, but maybe you have, hey, spend your holiday, post-holiday shopping, get great deals here. Something, or here, get great deals, rather. Something like that within your ad copy. You don't want to put here, but within your ad copy may entice customers a little bit more and draw them in, because they realize that you're thinking about what portion of the purchase funnel and decision journey they may be in. So again, capturing that within ad copies, and even inserting the keyword gift cards into your ad copy may also draw someone in, and make sure you're bidding on those keywords as well. So showrooming, one gift at a time. So some retailers are really embracing what it means to do showrooming, and that's having promotions and advertising really built around location-based targeting. So if I am in a store, and let's say, for instance, I am in an appliance store, and I am looking up, and maybe at that time kind of researching a refrigerator, I hope this doesn't happen, but a refrigerator I'm thinking about purchasing. And I'm looking online and I have my location settings open, and you're able to identify where I'm at as a retailer, as a advertiser. You can take advantage of that by serving up a paid search ad that maybe offers me additional $100 off at that moment. But you really want to take advantage of where I'm at and the fact that I may be really close to making an in-store purchase, but I'm meshing the two experiences, right? So I'm on a mobile device, taking advantage of that mobility, doing some research on a mobile device, but I'm standing in your store. So meshing the two experiences together is really important, and ways to do that are using promotions. The other thing you want to do is, if you have product feeds built out, or if you don't, this is something that you definitely want to think about doing, is launching product ads. Product ads create a rich, immersive experience where you're giving me a visual of the product within my results page on my mobile device. So this is mobile product ads specifically, because again, we're going to stick with I'm in the store and I'm ready to purchase this refrigerator. So that price is going to come up. It's going to show me a link to your site. So again, like and you're using my location as a result of that. So creating an experience where it's visual as well as incentivizes the customer for their purchases, or you pull them in, that last opportunity to really maybe pull them in before they comparison shop, because usually that's what's happening, right? Before they comparison shop and maybe go to someone else. So web rooming. So 88% of shoppers have researched a product online and then went into the store to make the purchase. This happens all the time, that researching before you actually get into the bricks and mortars. So, customers are savvy. They want the best deals. They want to ensure that they are getting the best price. And so making that list before they actually get into a store happens a lot more. So you want to make sure that your ad copy calls out that whatever deal or promotion you're really offering, and really think about that by product. So sometimes what happens is you kind of put the promotion on your brand terms or some of your high-level generic terms, so T-shirt or appliances, and you really want to think about, okay, no, Kenmore appliances. What is the specific promotion or incentive I want to assign to that keyword in my ad copy? So just think, or that ad group and campaign, thinking about what you can offer a customer as they're really in their research phase prior to going into your store. So the last example was utilizing location extensions because you know they're in the store. This one is always thinking about how can you make that lasting impression and pull someone in to your conversion funnel by giving them some sort of great promotion and reason why you are the best person to go in and make this purchase with. And sometimes it's not always just price, right? It could be maybe an event that you're having, or maybe there's something occurring special in your store unique to what you offer that your competitor doesn't offer. Get that in there as they're doing that research. So shopping with mobile brings holiday cheer with smartphones, generating online traffic, more online traffic, and tablet shoppers spend more. So not too surprising that tablet shoppers spend more. 76% of smartphone owners plan to use their device for holiday shopping. It's a huge number and a huge growth number. So think about that mobility of how shoppers no longer have to sit at their desktop computers and actually hit the buy button to make a purchase or to even start their purchase decision. So they may begin it on a smartphone, but maybe later finish that purchase on their PC later on, but at least you are there in that smartphone experience, and the data is showing that that's what's happening. Increasingly, as smartphone usage grows, as more smartphones are developed, more people are purchasing smartphones, the growth is expected. And 39% of smartphone owners have made a purchase on their smartphone compared to the 63% of tablet users. So the experience is different. It's still a mobility experience, but the smartphone is a smaller screen. The tablet offers that larger screen. So if I'm making a holiday purchase and I'm thinking about what item I want to get, I probably at times want a larger screen to do so. So purchases are still happening on a smartphone. However, they're happening at a higher percentage rate on the tablet because of that more rich, that bigger experience that can happen. So 1/5 of Cyber Monday and Black Friday online sales come from mobile. That's a 50% growth since last year. So 2014 numbers, could only imagine that that's going to continue to grow. So the advice there really is to capture that traffic and be a part of, be in the top spot during that growth period. So those number 1 and number 2 positions were possible, and when you're able to bid against for that, really maintain in mobile number 1 and 2 positions, because according to our heat maps and according to just the real estate that exists within those experiences, that's where searchers are, that's where customers are looking, and that's where they're clicking. Mobile users get their shop on. So 55% check availability of items before going to the store. So just to kind of recap some of the things we've discussed. 50% track sales at stores and find items on sale. 49% research their gift ideas. So actively, it's safe to say nearly half or more of everyone within the shopping experience this holiday season is doing something with their mobile device. So be sure you have a mobile strategy. So you're thinking about your holiday planning, what those budgets look like, when to launch your campaigns. Be sure you've also really taken a step back and thought of what that mobile strategy is going to be. How are you going to create maybe a slightly different messaging because character limits are different within mobile ad copy? What are you going to do in that experience that may slightly differ from the experience you're offering on the PC? So reach your mobile shoppers online and offline. This is just some recommendations, again, to kind of mesh the two together. So when you have shoppers who are shopping, making sure that you drive them to your website. The product ads, again, are a huge deal that definitely offers up to 29% lower cost per click. Apologies. With when you launch your product ads and you're creating those more immersive visual experiences by actually showing the product in a picture. And if I'm in the store and I'm looking at the product, I'm able to touch it, right? But at least in the product ads online, you're also letting me see it. So, I don't have to necessarily be in the store at that moment. You're kind of bringing me in because I'm able to see on my device a visual of that. And then as well as location extensions and call extensions. So call extensions is going to be, quick sip, hold on one second. Thank you. So call extensions is going to be an important piece as well, because if you have a store or service where you want someone to really, as a customer service rep on the other line, you want them to engage with your customers, then you're going to want to have call extensions within your paid search ad copy on mobile, or even in your main campaign, but this is speaking specifically to mobile, because you only want your customers to have a one-click experience. I always say that when you have the option to do so, you don't want them going to the site and searching and looking around for it. So call extensions is an extension you can add to your campaigns to ensure that that really is just a one-click. The phone number comes up, and above it could be holiday-specific messaging, hey, call more to get information, or call now to book your travel plans, whatever it may be. Create that number and have it easily there. All right, so move over Turkey. This is, in the next few slides, I want to really walk you through times of day. And budget is a problem for most advertisers and retailers during the holiday season. It'd be nice to have limitless budgets and to optimize as much as you can to capture all of the opportunity and grow sales and really, have an option to capture every hand raiser out there. But budget restraints don't always allow that. And the best way to combat that is day parting strategies. And even going back to those top three, so we'll go through those top 3 days. This is where it's most important because you want to be live. If you can be live throughout the day, keep your budgets open and do so. But if you cannot, still have a plan to have your campaigns live for mobile PC, and tablet across all devices. You still want to be live. So when thinking about optimal times of day, now this is presented and shown in Pacific Standard Time as a call out. So during Thanksgiving, the peak sales time is at 7:25 p.m. So evening hours is when we've really identified that shoppers are online and actively searching, and that's when the peak of shopping is happening. And that's nearly a 20% growth year over year. So again, this year we may see that that's going to continue to grow. So really think about that time frame and being live during those hours for your campaigns. And for Black Friday, the time frame was actually in the morning, and that's been consistent year over year with the similar 19% growth, so similar to nearly 20% growth as Thanksgiving. So again, creating that campaign, having it live in the morning time, and ensuring that you're capturing hand raisers who are looking for your brand. And maybe you also kind of have a strategy against what your brand versus non-brand keywords may be and what the budgets may look like for that. And then your positioning strategy. So you want to maintain those one and two positions, and as you move throughout the day, maybe there's certain keywords that you begin to adjust. So, bid rules, all of that you can implement and have live. And for Cyber Monday, that time frame actually is later in the evening, so Pacific Standard Time again, but 21% growth year over year, and we're seeing it's a little bit later in the evening, around like after 8 p.m. So roughly like 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. time frame is when that search traffic begins to heat up. So evenings again. So we talked about this earlier, and I just want to remind everyone that the party doesn't stop post-holidays. So 2 in 5 people plan to buy gifts after the holidays. 47% are looking to take advantage of post-holiday sales. So create your strategy for this Q4 timeframe, but also think about what those budgets and what types of promotions and call-outs you want to make within ad copy and across device in January. And even, in your search query reports and traffic reports will begin to tell you if you even need to extend that to February. But I strongly recommend, the January timeframe, because people are trying to redeem gift cards. They're looking for, so gifters, people who have received gifts are redeeming gift cards. People who have just waited until after the holiday season to get really great deals, take advantage of those customers and their interests at that moment as well, and maybe selling, giving them some incentives and promotions for shopping with you in the post-holiday season.
For advertisers who have limited ad budgets, what are some free research resources?
Yes, so thank you for asking that. That actually is in my appendix. I have one. So resources that I recommend, and I'm going to offer up our Microsoft Bing specific resources as well, but there's a few out there. There's some research tools like our Bing Ads Industry Insights website is a complete website that is a portal where you as an advertiser can go to and research by your vertical what opportunities exist, and it's not just a holiday research resource, it's also a resource for just all around just year-round, what events may be occurring, and like I said, for your particular vertical. So I always recommend that. And if you are live on Bing Ads, if you're not, I recommend. But if you are live on Bing Ads, you also have access to Bing Ads Intelligence, which is another research tool that allows you to do free keyword searches and identify traffic trends, and there's also a tutorial for that. So everything on my referral is always going to our Bing Ads site, because there are a lot of free portals and free resources to do the research that you need for your particular vertical.
Okay, another one that came in. Do you recommend conquesting strategies to acquire competitor share during the holidays?
So conquesting as a whole, I always tell people you have to stay focused on the priorities and the budget for your advertiser before you begin conquesting, because conquesting is essentially saying I'm going to eat away, right, from my competitors' share, and I'm going to steal some. But you need to at first have captured all of the opportunity that exists within for your customers, with your customers. So I would shy away from conquesting during the holiday season and really focused on creating sound mobility strategies cross-device and capturing your customers in those experiences versus I'm not going to say it's necessarily always wasting dollars, but until you've done the research, it is with your competitor and bidding on their terms or trying to steal their audience. Really take from or gain from yours.
Okay, for advertisers who have not begun planning for Q4 or the holidays, what's the first thing they need to do?
The first thing you need to do is pull some reports from last year. So in order to look forward, you have to look back. So assuming that you were live or at least had a paid search campaign last year. So I'll answer that question in two forms. So if you had a paid search campaign last year during the holiday season, even if it wasn't fully optimized and ready for the holidays, you want to pull some reports and research to really see what the activity looked like, so you can really make data-driven decisions and create campaigns for 2014 that are from learnings of 2013. So that's the first thing you want to do, is the research. And whether you didn't have a campaign last year or you do have a campaign this year, or if you did or didn't, even for this year, what you want to do as well is identify what your potential budgets may be. So what you don't want to have happen is you're in the midst of Q4 and you're scrambling or trying to figure out what your budget should be. Really need to take a step back and think about those peak days that we talked about, those top 3 days, as well as think about just that November time frame and look at your budget and really decide, okay, how can we how much do we have to spend, one, and how can we align this budget? So that's major. And then, the planning for creative messaging and promotions and alignment from that will come from the budget conversations. You'll know what you can afford.
Okay, I'm not seeing any more questions. Felicia, do you want to give any kind of closing thoughts or anything like that?
Yeah, I would say, so I'm just going to go back to this slide as well. I'm going to go here really quickly and just remind everyone, please stay connected. If you do have any questions that come up after this, I am more than happy to answer them. And I would just also like to say that thank you for having me be a part of this call today, and I'm really excited about this holiday season. I think more than ever, especially, I've been saying the word a lot, mobility, especially in this mobility phase of advertising. It's a really exciting time as an advertiser to think about multi-screen and multi-dimensional campaigns and how you can take advantage of this holiday season and even your future campaigns by using strong mobile strategies and optimizing for success.
Okay, so thanks again for conducting today's webinar. We really appreciate all the info and data and insights. I'd also like to thank everyone for attending today. And just as a heads up, we have some other exciting webinars coming up from MapQuest, Como, Local Market Launch, and Reach Local. For more info on these and all of our upcoming webinars, visit localsearchassociation.org/webinars. So thanks again, everyone, and have a great day.